Hi, welcome back. Spitfire, we're back on the Spitfire again. So what I'm working on at the moment, I'm doing the guns. So I've tried to think a little bit outside the box with the guns, not just have the usual normal gun display where you've got the covers off with the cannon shells showing and stuff. If you look at a previous video, I've already made up a belt of, well, basically cannon shells that are made out of brass, as opposed to, well, the whole thing's made out of brass, but the actual cannon shell ends need to be painted. But again, if you look at the video, I'll just zoom in a bit. They're very difficult to paint because they're so small. So to paint the circles and stuff on there, I haven't quite worked that one out yet. I've scratched all the paint off at the moment. So these aren't finished by any means, but these are the cannon shells that I'm using to replace these. Which are the multi-plastic ones. So what I'll do, I'll probably make a new box to fit in the wing. I've made it so that this box can be removed and taken out again. So that will go in there to replace the plastic moulded version. I may add more to them, I don't know yet. I've not decided. I might just have it kind of hanging out the wing a bit or something. I don't know. So anyway, that's the cannon shell bit. There's a video about that. But what I want to do is, I'm thinking I'm going to throw some pictures up now of what the cannon looks like when it's exposed. Now, this is the Airfix cannon part that sticks out the front of the wing, the cannon barrel, if you like, and this is just basically a shield. On a lot of aircraft, if you look at Hurricane, for instance, they don't have these on; they just have an exposed cannon barrel sticking out the front of the wing, or at least part of it is. On the Spitfire, they're fully shrouded. Now, if you look at the way it's moulded, now again I'll throw another picture up, it kind of breaks down in quite good detail how this is built. Now, I've deduced, or I might be wrong, but it looks to me like the actual shield, if you like, comes off at this point here. This bit's removed, and you're left with this stub part of it sticking out of the wing. So I bought these master ones. Now these are master, they're beautifully made of these. These are really, really nice. Saying that should be, they cost £15 for a pair. You also get the little stubs as well that fill in the 0.5 Browning blanks, if you like. And I also bought, you can't get these for the Spitfire, you can only get these for the Hurricane. And these are cannon barrels, and that's a spring there. And then that bit goes on there like that. And now on the, whoops, trying to find what I've done with it now. On the Hurricanes, you've got like this bit sticking out the front of the wing. Bear with me, I'll keep it all time. You glue all this stuff together when it's finished, but that bit sticks in there like that. So that's the exposed part of the barrel, if you like. And that's the part that comes out the wing. And that plugs into there like that. So on a Hurricane, you'd see that, which looks pretty cool. I think it's a nice piece of detail, nice and crisp and clean and stuff. But on the Spitfire, you don't see it. Well, you would if you took the cover off. So what I'm thinking of doing is making it so that on one wing only, I've got this cover removed like this. Obviously, on the plastic one, I'm replacing those anyway with this. So on one side, I'm not having the guns exposed at all. I'm just having this on one wing, like that, which I'll show you what I mean. Oops, excuse me, just chucking sprues everywhere. I'll just zoom back out again. So on the wing, it's going to go, you just drill that out and put that in there like that, and glue it in there. And that's what it will look like on that side. On this side, I want this bit cut off and then this part sticking out the front. Now I was concerned about the length because funnily enough, it works out perfectly, but I've looked at the Hispano, and if you look at the length of the gun, it's enormously long. And that's I haven't painted that, by the way, it's just dry fitted in there. This is the actual cannon plastic bit that goes into there, and that needs all painting again in there, and that needs painted. It's a massively long gun. I wondered about this. I wondered why it was such a long gun, and I've looked into it, and there's a nice little video on the Imperial War Museum. It's actually one of the Royal Armouries. I'll put a link to it. about the history of the Hispano Sousa cannon. Now it's basically of Swiss-Spanish design, but it's built in France, which is kind of weird. And it was designed by a guy called Mark Burgett. And it's originally designed to fit into an engine made by Hispano Sousa. And I put a picture up of that now. It's a screen grab of a video as this, by the way, so it's not the best of quality in the world. And it's called a 12Y aero engine, and it had to go right through the middle of the engine, so it shot out through the spinner boss. A bit like on an ME109 sort of thing. So it's that long for that reason, and the RAF seem to inherit this gun and its length. And it's incredibly long, very heavy. It's 7.9 feet long. And it weighs 106 pounds, so each gun is 106 pounds on each side. Then you've got the ammunition on top of that, and then all the stuff that goes with it. So it's a lot of hardware to put in there to replace your standard 303 Browning, which is one of these things. Again, goes in there. Shooting these little things as opposed to shooting these big things. So it's a big thing, and it was a difficult thing to actually get to work in a Spitfire originally, because the Spitfire was never designed to carry this sort of weapon. It was designed to carry these things. So the initial development of putting these in there failed miserably, because they put a drum feed mechanism on that had to be mounted on its side. It just caused jams and all sorts of stuff. So they ended up having to put a different feed mechanism in there. Once they'd done that and put a blister on there, all was good and happy. But anyway, we digress. That's the history of the cannon itself. So what I want to do then is basically have this sticking out of there, like that, as if you've taken the shield off the front. So I've bought myself a little lathe recently. You could do it without, I suppose, but it's quite difficult to cut this at that point there really neatly, and then bore a hole down the centre of it so I can fit that down it. So that has to go in there like that. And when it's done, you'd have that exposed. Now it's not completely accurate. Again, if you look at the pictures, I'm not convinced that the spring configuration is perfect. I'm going to zoom in again. If you look at this spring is round. It's not flat. And on some of them, the spring was it was like longer and thinner, and the profile of the actual spring was flat as opposed to a round circle. I can't do anything about that. I can't make a new spring. I'm quite happy to compromise on that, and I still think it looks good enough to make it more interesting than just a blank stubby barrel stuck out the front. So what I'm going to do, I can't film doing this because I haven't worked out how to film turning stuff, and I don't know if it's that interesting anyway. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to chop on one of them. I'm going to chop this end off here, just part it off completely, and then I'm going to drill a hole down the centre that suits that, and that should do the job. So I'll go away and do that, and I'll be back in a bit. Okay, we're back. So it was quite easy to do, really. It's not you don't have to be an engineering genius to do it. So yeah, I've just cut the end off that and then drilled a hole in the end of it that suited that diameter of this piece of brass as best I could. It's quite a good fit actually. So that just pushes into there like that. It's a pretty good fit. And I think that does actually represent kind of, it won't stay brass, it's going to get painted. Represent what that's really like. So basically the spring then fits onto the barrel, like so, and then I think you just glue that onto there like that. But I'll paint this bit first, obviously. Put the spring on, paint that bit, and put that together like that. And that will go just here, like so. So we'll then end up with that arrangement going on. And that box will be in there, but it won't be that box, it will be something of this nature. Yeah. So that's the plans for the guns really. It's just a quick short video as how things have progressed with the Spitfire. Is that in the right place? No, it goes in the other side. I don't know, I can't remember. Not why that blank space there, it must be for the other gun that doesn't exist. So yeah, and then I've got to paint the other guns, obviously the two Brownings that go in there, these things. I've made it so that you can take these in and out actually, so I can paint them and take them out and put them in at me will. And that's it for the guns really. I don't think there's much else I can do really. I'm quite happy with that though, worked out. It was a nice little practice session for the lathe to do that. So there we are, just a quick short video. Next is going to be, I may have mentioned at the end of the Bulldog video, I'm working, I've got all the, I'll just take that off so I don't lose all the bits. I've got all the filing on the wings done now, so the ailerons on both sides. I'm working on the tail, so where have I got all the bits? I'll just dig them all out. Yeah, I got it here. Oh, that's the tail now. Rudder, elevator. Alright, there's the cooling system underneath as well. And they need foiling as well, and they're not easy to do either. So they just basically clip onto the bottom of here. Quite simple. You just foil them and put them on there, and that's it. Simple job. So yeah, the next video is going to be about not doing the filing back, because I've done a loads of stuff on the videos on doing that. The next bit about is just to add a little bit more detail to these. So I'll mention that in the video. But basically, these are little rib marks on the surfaces. If you look at one in reality, there's a lot more detail on this, which I'm going to add on with some foil, which I did on the Bulldog video that I did recently. And that was a bit of a practice on the Bulldog to see if it worked, and it works really, really well. So it's going to show more of the fabric detail in the rudder and the elevator, which will be fun to do as well. So that's the next part. So I'll catch you in a bit.